Summer of 2026 is shaping up to be one of the most chaotic travel seasons in American history. Between the FIFA World Cup, America's 250th birthday, rising domestic travel, and a shift in how people want to spend their vacation, a handful of U.S. cities are about to get absolutely crushed by tourism this summer. Some of what's happening in these cities this summer might actually sound like a great time depending on what you're into. There are going to be some great events in these cities, and if you can tolerate crowds and high prices, they may be worth visiting this summer. But if you're someone who prefers a little breathing room on vacation, you might want to think twice before booking. Here are the 5 U.S. cities I researched that are going to have a hard time handling summer 2026. Starting off at number 1, we have Philadelphia. Philadelphia is hosting 6 World Cup matches this summer, which will fill its streets with international visitors. But domestic tourists may be what causes the greatest surge in the city's tourism this summer. There may not be a better city to visit for those looking to celebrate America's 250th anniversary of independence this summer. Independence Hall, the Liberty Bell, and other tourist attractions are all going to be hopping this summer as people visit the birthplace of American democracy. Celebrations for America 250 are expected to be taking place throughout the summer, and Philadelphia may prove to be a popular place for people to take road trips and who are looking to participate in the many events that Visit Philadelphia has to offer. They are even hosting the MLB All-Star Game on July 14th this year, which may not draw massive crowds on its own, but it's another way Philadelphia is trying to make itself the epicenter of domestic tourism this year. Philadelphia is also, of course, a smaller city compared to some cities in other regions of the country, so heavy crowds are going to be felt even more in the city. Other destinations in the Northeast are also expected to have crowds for America 250 this summer, such as New York City, Boston, and Washington, D.C. However, to avoid repetition, I left those off the list. New York City especially is going to see massive crowds, but New York City is always crowded anyway. At number 2, we have a much different type of destination than Philadelphia, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Now, even though Gatlinburg is a town, it is expected to have the population of a city throughout the summer as tourism is expected to spike. Gatlinburg is a town with only a few thousand people, but it sits at the entrance of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. This national park is by far the most visited in the country already. According to USA Today, it has been the most visited national park in the country since 1979 and currently doubles the second most visited national park in the country in annual visitors, which is Zion in Utah. Summer 2026 could see even heavier visitors than usual, however, as high gas prices and the closure of Spirit Airlines are 2 things that are causing budget-conscious travelers to travel closer to home this summer. It is not a coincidence that the Great Smoky Mountains National Park is such a hotspot, as it is within driving distance for many Americans. Tennessee is bordered by 8 states, which is tied with Missouri for the most of any state in the country. While Europe is seeing over-tourism hit its cities, America is seeing over-tourism mainly hit its national parks. Yosemite, Zion, Yellowstone, and many more parks, including the Smoky Mountains, are all national parks that have seen a surge in tourism over the years. Fitness tourism overall is a fast-growing trend that we are seeing more of in tourism, and national parks are a great way to participate in that trend. Coming in at number 3, we have Miami. Miami has always been a popular travel destination for domestic and international tourists alike, but summer of 2026 should see crowds like few years before it. Miami is expected to be one of the main hubs of the World Cup this year. They are hosting 7 matches in the longest World Cup ever, and it stretches out at over 5.5 weeks, with Miami hosting a game on the second to last day of the tournament. It is not just about the number of matches it is hosting, but who is playing in those matches. Brazil, Colombia, Portugal, Uruguay, and Scotland are all teams playing in Miami this summer in the group stage alone. Brazil and Uruguay are 2 of the most passionate soccer nations in the world. Colombia and Scotland are also expected to have 2 of the largest fan bases at the tournament. Portugal is one of the favorites in the tournament and should bring fans from all over as well. These fan bases may be an attraction of their own, as many people may travel to the city not for the matches, just for the atmosphere. The FIFA Fan Fest in downtown Miami is expected to be huge, as it will operate for 23 straight days. At number 4, we have Charleston, South Carolina. This is a city that has been experiencing over-tourism for years now, and 2026 will be no exception. It is a relatively small city that has seen many digital nomads put down roots, and it is expected to be a spot many stop by on coastal road trips, which is a trendy way to travel this summer. Charleston has a population of about 160,000, but draws almost 8 million tourists each year. America 250 has been promoting it as a city to visit as part of its field trips guide, and has been named a top 10 U.S. destination for 2026 by multiple travel publications. The strain tourism has caused on Charleston is reflected in a resident-backed move to no longer serve as a port for Carnival Cruise Lines starting in 2025. This was due to its popular historic district being overwhelmed by cruise passengers. Charleston's tourism numbers in the summer of 2026 may not be about this summer specifically, but as its growing status as a travel destination for domestic and international visitors. Lastly, we have Los Angeles. This is another city that sees massive crowds descend upon it during the summer anyway, but summer of 2026 should produce even larger crowds than normal. This is another city that sees massive crowds descend upon it during the summer anyway, but summer of 2026 should produce even larger crowds than normal. They are expected to have over 180,000 visitors for the World Cup. The United States is also playing at least 2 of its matches there, meaning it will be a draw for people from all over the country even if they are not going to the games. LA may not see tourism this summer quite as high as what is expected in 2028 when it hosts the Summer Olympics. However, I would expect it to come close. While Los Angeles is a large area and one that will not feel as tight as other cities that are smaller, I would expect LA traffic to be worse than usual throughout the summer. That concludes the list of 5 American cities that could see record visitors this summer. Don't be surprised to see high hotel prices in any of these areas over the next couple of months. And if you are someone who wants to avoid the crowds, waiting until shoulder season or next summer may be the best option. Thanks for watching Quinn's Compass. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you next week.